selected, they'll just do it for us.
Okay.
We'll just sit here.
Stevie, my question is, when did you have that moment where you knew you're a rock and roll star? Like Oprah famously says that she used her money and went out and bought new towels. What was your, hey, I'm a rock star now moment back in the 70s?
When I joined Fleetwood Mac, I immediately moved out of the apartment that I lived in with Lindsay and Richard. Immediately. I went and found an apartment on Hollywood Boulevard. And the second thing I did was I bought a 280 SL Mercedes. Hardtop convertible, red interior. I did drive though. I drove until 1978, and the only reason I don't drive is because my license ran out, and I just was too lazy to go get a new license. And then, you know, it sort of became like, when you get really famous really fast, it's like, what am I going to do? Like, go to a bar by myself?
We need you there.
Or go to the market by myself, you know? That's how it became, because Fleetwood Mac got so big so fast. But all the things that I've been doing, you know, since I moved to LA, which was really being the caretaker of a lot of people, went out the window. Somebody once said to me, just so you know, the one time I ever went to a psychologist, whom I liked very much, but it's way too much work for me. And she said to me, after I told her about what I did when I was the cleaning lady, and I made dinner and I cleaned the house and all that I loved, and I took on that role lovingly, she said, I think that you sound like you're really a caretaker. And I said, I am. When people come to my house, I'm the one that makes sure that the bed is beautifully made, and that there's like the beautiful, you know, everything, the sheets, everything, it's perfect. I do that. Nobody does that for me. And I love that. So if somebody comes and they don't feel well, I make them a Llama hot water bottle and give them the cashmere blanket and make sure that they know how to work the TV. It's like, so I'm that caretaker. And she said, I think that the day you joined Fleetwood Mac was the saddest day of your life in many ways, because a lot of the things that you love to do, which is to take care of people, ended on that day, and people started to take care of you.
Question over here.
Hi, Stevie. You did a lot of press for the In Your Dreams CD. Will you and Dave be doing press with this DVD and maybe a signing or something?
Whatever we can do, yes, absolutely. My last day was really 2 days ago, and I have Halloween and Elton John left, and then for the next many months, I don't start up with Fleetwood Mac until next March. So we're absolutely going to do everything we can do to get this film out to the masses.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hi. Sorry. Hi, Stevie. I wanted to know. I'm right here.
Where is she?
I'm right here.
Okay.
Hey. I wanted to know, always, have you ever considered doing an R&B album, like straight R&B? And if you do, who would you like to collaborate with?
You know what? I learned to sing with R&B music, even though I had a country singing grandfather. So my parents used to really say when I was like in the 4th grade, like, who are you? Sitting in the back seat, singing along with, you know, with all the R&B girl groups that were out when I was in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th grade. And I said, well, because I really don't, I'm really not going country. I'm really going R&B. And so it's always been a dream of me to do something like that. And I just did a thing with Babyface, and he even said he would like to run it with me. And he is cute.
Hi, Stevie. My name is Maggie.
Hi, Maggie.
Nice to meet you. I have a question for you. When it comes to, say, In Your Dreams or Trouble in Shangri-La, how many songs are you writing for these records? And where do you get to the point when you say, okay, this song isn't working, I'm going to stop working on it, or I'm going to focus on this thing, I know this song is going to make it to the record? How many songs do you think total that you wrote for each of those? And where was the point where you said, this isn't working?
If my songs make it onto that cassette, they're working for me. When you go into the studio, sometimes they don't work. But then they go back into the vault, because that doesn't mean that they're not gonna work 3 years from now. So I never even give anybody anything unless I feel like it's really good and really finished in as far as I can go with it. So I never even play parts of songs for people, you know, it's like they're done. Now, of course, writing with Dave is a different thing because I'm writing with another person. So, you know, there were a couple things that we did that neither of us liked. And so we just dropped them, you know, and moved on. Just parts, usually just parts. You pretty much know really fast. You get one really good verse and you're like, this is great, you know, so now we're gonna try to make a chorus that's as good as that verse. So that's not the hard part. The hard part is too many good songs, and then having to take some of those songs off.
And putting them in the vault.
And putting them in the vault, to wait for them to be, you know, reborn again.
Hi Stevie, I'm Kevin, nice to meet you.
Hi, Kevin.
Those of us that have been following you like for a very long time, we often say to one another, the voice. Is the voice just so touching and just hits us in our hearts? And we always thought, would Stevie ever consider doing an acoustic tour? Just the piano, just the guitar.
You know, the kind of tour that I would love to do someday is I'd like to, there's so many of my songs on all my different albums that I would love to, you know, you can't do them all. I mean, you'd have a 10-hour set, so you can't, I know, and that would be great, but you can't do it. You'd have to spread it over a week. So what I'm thinking is, you could do a thing where you really arranged, and I really don't like the word medley, but you could do a thing where you really do bits and pieces of, you know, of going all the way back so that you start with, you know, you can ride high atop your pony, I know it won't, cause the whole thing's phony, belladonna, coming out of the darkness. So you could do a minute and a half, 2 minutes of belladonna, and then you could switch into, there is a reason, don't blame it on me, blame it on my heart. And straight into, sometimes it rages, rocks a little, even when it's calm, it rocks a little. So that's, I would be so pleased to do that because there's so many songs that I've written that I would love to do. But you know, you can, a 2-hour and 10-minute set, you know, is a long set. It's a long set when you're 30 and it's a long set when you're 64. But someday, one of these days, I will do it. And I'll have, you know, I'll have Waddy and I'll have the girls, and I'll have bass, I'll have drums, and I'll have them in the back, and sometimes they'll come forward, and, you know, it's like something, it would be a whole nother kind of way to look at my music. And for me, it would be great, because sometimes I think about some of those beautiful songs that nobody will ever hear me do, because they'll never make it onto the stage. So, you know, that's all. You know, when I don't want to do 135 shows, it's like, then that's what I'll do. I'll start doing things that are more eclectic. So, you know, the world, it's, what's to come is, for me, always exciting.
And a new album with that.
And a new album maybe with
Just
that.
get right to the album.
Hi Stevie, I'm Bill. Nice
Hi,
to meet
Bill.
you. You've appeared in kind of a spate of recent memoirs. Ann and Nancy Wilson mentioned you in their new book, and there's
I just heard about that.
yeah, there's maybe rumors. Ken Calais, with all your journals and a spate of fans who would be so excited. Are you planning on ever penning a tell-all or a really great autobiography? Because I think there's big demand
You know
for it.
what? I'm not ever going to write that kind of book. If I ever write a book, it'll be vignettes. It'll be, you know, it'll be the day I joined Fleetwood Mac. It'll be the day I met Lindsay. It'll be the day I decided to do a record with Dave Stewart. It'll be the magical moments. I am never going to write a book to drag people through the dredges of my life, because I don't think people need to know that. I think that everybody has heard me do enough interviews on drugs that everybody knows that there was some very bad times in my life. But you know what? I survived. And I'm okay, and I try to tell people about it. Whenever anybody says, you want to talk about Klonopin, I'm like, sit down. Let's talk about Klonopin. You want to talk about cocaine? Sit down. Let's talk about cocaine. Let's talk about, watch the video of I Can't Wait and look at my swimming eyes and think, could you just lay off the booze, the coke, the cigarettes, the pot for just 2 days while you made $1 million video? It's like, yeah, I'd love to talk about it with you, but I'm not going to write about it in a book because everybody already knows. So what I would write about are the things that knocked me out as I went through my life. And that, the men that just knocked me out, the music that knocked me out, my friends that just continue to knock me out every day, today and 50 years ago. How it all started in each little genre of my life, how that all started. The really beautiful romantic things. That is the stuff that I would love to tell y'all. I'm not gonna go and talk about, I went on the road with Annie and Nancy for a week and we just had a ball. We did a lot of drugs and we had a great time. And you know what, I think they wrote about it and I wish they hadn't. Because I thought that was private. And I happen to have an amazing respect for Ann Wilson. I think she's one of the best singers in the world. I think she's right there behind Robert Plant. I think that Nancy Wilson is, and I've told her, right there behind Lindsey Buckingham and Waddy Wachtel and and Dave Stewart, those amazing guitar players. I love these girls. I would have preferred that they had left me out of the book. Because we're not, we weren't best friends our whole life. We didn't, we spent a little time together and we influenced each other, but I would have preferred they had left me out of their book. So if I was going, they will not be a vignette in my book. This is the last question right over here. Where are we right over here? Okay.
Hi, I'm Allie. Hi, Dave.
Hi, Allie.
Now that we all, I'm Allie. Okay. I read in an interview that after you tour with Fleetwood Mac, you're going on a rest or a break. After your break, are you going to go on tour again, or are you going to do not another tour? I mean, this is not a tour, like just small shows, like casinos and stuff.
You mean after I come off this one, and then next March go on the Fleetwood Mac tour, which will be probably a year.
Mm-hmm. But I have to plan in advance.
Right. and I do too. You know what? I'll be all through Fleetwood Mac. I'll be writing. Because that's a great place to write.
Yeah.
So I keep a journal, I write every night, so I'll be writing poetry, and I'm in the middle of my Game of Thrones poetry right now. And, so I'll be writing, and so when I come off the road with Fleetwood Mac, I'll do what I always do. I'll go to Hawaii for 2 months, or I'll go somewhere really nice for 2 months, and I'll hang out, and then I'll go back on the road with my own thing. Or I'll run and find Dave Stewart and do another record.
Okay, I guess that's it. Thanks.
You've had a lot of trouble with that mic.
I know.
All the way through the
This is a
show.
curse of mine. You're the most beautiful original person ever. Thank you so much for your time.